Referee just explaining to Manchester City what's going to happen. Needs to play, according to Pep Guardiola. It'll be good for him to play, he said. It'll give him respite for that short few moments, as Danny was saying. We stand with Ukraine, and the football authorities, FIFA, UEFA and the various football associations have made that point very clear. And now on the referee's whistle, they take the knee also in the constant battle against racism and all social injustice. So it'll be Manchester City, literally 2 divisions apart, aren't they, these two teams, who get us off and underway in the change strip of white and aquamarine. And here's Nathan Ake. One of these Manchester City players started the last round against Fulham. Ake and Cancelo, Gundogan, Fernandinho, Mahrez. Grealish started that one, and so did Phil Foden, who will occupy a slightly deeper role than he has been doing of late. But there is such rotation about Manchester City, Dan, you can't really pigeonhole players into any one spot.
Such a fluid team, such technical ability, confidence, football nous as well. They're almost unstoppable at times. The only thing that could go against Manchester City this evening is Manchester City themselves, and that comes down to complacency and attitude.
Midfield of the ball then for Steven Bender, a young goalkeeper. Make it really Stuttgart. He didn't make it a very good start here tonight either. Pressurised by Gabriel Jesus, and a make up for lost time. At those 14 minutes against Everton in his comeback, and nearly pressurised the opening goal of the game.
That could have easily ended up in their own net. And the last thing you need to do against a side of the quality of Manchester City is give them a leg up. Give them an easy goal or an easy start.
Okay, battling up there with Pame Poku. He started the game higher than we expected him to. Almost up there alongside Ricky J. Jones, which means that Schmolitz might be playing in a deeper role as an attacking midfield player. That's where he played most of his football at Colchester. There's Grant McCann, who was Peterborough caretaker manager and coach when he retired, having been a player here for 5 years. Very popular he was as well, nearly 200 games. Then he took over as manager full-time for a couple of years before moving on to Doncaster. Recently, of course, lost his job at Hull after the takeover there. And his Hull side put up a great display against Everton in the 3rd round of this competition, losing narrowly back in January. Diaz, Cancelo. His stronger side is the right side. Actually, he's naturally a right-footed player. Has played a lot of his football on the left, of course. And here's Ederson. And other Peterborough fans will love watching these Manchester City superstars here tonight, with, of course, the dream that they beat them. Fernandinho, let's not forget, he'll have emotional ties to Ukraine. Was there for a long time at Shakhtar Donetsk. That's into the really scrubby patch of the pitch. Mahrez, all away by Frankie Kent for Foden. There are lots of bodies behind the ball. They're very shy of confidence at the moment, as you could expect. Cancelo, the blue pot over there. Mahrez, Diaz to Fernandinho, Zinchenko to his left, now Grealish, Zinchenko, well off target, looking for his first goal in some 15 months.
But already Manchester City starting to take command of this game, showing real authority. They move the ball very quickly, slick passing moves. They're all technically superb, very, very comfortable on the ball, and that means sometimes when you want to go and close them down, put pressure on them, you can't. Because if you do that, you get beat, then all of a sudden you're in real trouble.
Certainly weren't at their best at Everton. We should have had a penalty. I think most people recognise that, and Chief of the Referees, Mike Riley, has contacted Everton and apologised for the decision that didn't give them the spot kick at the weekend. That's very noble of him. It doesn't help Everton out any which way though, Danny, does it?
There's only one hand, let's be honest. He didn't catch it, did he? I mean, when we talk about a lot of decisions that are subjective, and obviously, you know, VAR, no VAR here this evening, that wasn't a subjective decision in my opinion. It was so clear and obvious.
Yes, no VAR on this ground, Championship ground, but there is VAR in other six-round ties. Headed away.
Again, I find that a strange decision. I think you have it across the board. Maybe when you get to the semi-final stage, final obviously, but if you don't have it in some ties, I don't think you should have it in any of them.
Fifth round tie, I was leaping ahead of myself there. Ahead of my time there, Danny.
That's always been the way, I believe.
Cleared away and tidied up by Joe Ward. A great run with Lincoln City. All the way through to the quarterfinals, they were beaten by Arsenal. He played in the fifth round tie against Burnley away when they won at Turf Moor. Run by Gundogan and Foden and Mahrez. I think the ball, to be fair to him, I think the ball just bobbled a little bit.
You're right, JP. Horrible bobble. Down that right-hand side for Manchester City, as you get towards the 18-yard box, it's a really sticky, bobbly patch. Probably where Peterborough do a lot of their warm-ups, to be honest. You know, look at that. You can see it there. Ball just pops up. Even a player of Mahrez's quality got no chance for that as it pops up in the air.
It was a throwback to the old-fashioned pitches of FA Cup shocks.
This was a good pitch. Back when I played, this would have been one of the better ones. It's amazing now where the younger generation, my kids, look back at old VHSs and some of the pitches and go, wow, you played on them? When there was more mud than grass.
The infamous Hereford, West Ham and Newcastle games, especially the Newcastle upset that was played on an absolute bog. Here's Zinchenko, great leveller as they used to say, the old pitches. Zinchenko helps her on again. Coming into the narrow position. Pep Guardiola loves his fullbacks to do that, of course. Mahrez. Cross is easily blocked there. And Coulson, the left wing back, on loan at the moment from Middlesbrough. Nathan Ake will get there first.
But the fullbacks can push so high up the pitch because they have complete belief and confidence that the midfield players, the defenders, they're not going to give the ball away cheaply. So therefore they can push up.
Mahrez. Opportunity here for the ball to be pulled back by Cancelo. Goes every which way and crosses the far post. Jesus. And here's Gundogan. Zinchenko is available. Pop back out wide then to Gabriel Jesus. Here's Grealish, can bend it from there. Decided not to. Could have got the shot away twice there. Foden. Diaz. Look at the number of white shirts high up the pitch. Peterborough getting everyone back. Grealish, little touch to Jesus. All glued to his feet. Foden with the setup. Zinchenko with the hit. It's almost as if they're willing him to score tonight.
He's not right-footed though, is he? That's two efforts now, and they've gone high, wide, and not so handsome. I mean, Peterborough playing a dangerous game. They're defending their 6-yard box effectively. That's what they've done. I mean, just before at the beginning of this move, I think it was Schmodix was twisted inside out 3 or 4 times. He must be a little bit dizzy after that little spell. I think it was Cancelo, wasn't it, on the ball? You know, looking to cross it, checking back, then going back the other way. Going to be very, very difficult for Peterborough.
Defend indeed, trying to hold out Manchester City. The best defences in the world haven't managed to do that. City have scored 101 goals this season. They've scored 4 or more in 12 matches. 6 points clear at the top of the Premier League, 24 wins in 28. Always going to be daunting for Peterborough. Ward. It's a decent ball in behind Ake though. And the shot deflected off Ake, which made it a good save, and a decent effort that was by Jandro Fuchs.
A really good effort. Completely unexpected, I think. Poor positional play from Nathan Ake, gets completely the wrong side. And as you say, the little deflection almost causes Ederson a problem. Ake talked about it, lack of concentration, and a great save in the end.
Eden Coulson will take this free kick. He's a left-footed player. It'll come in towards the near post, you would have thought. Oh, it's longer than that to test Ederson. Big crunching collision with the post for Frankie Kent, an Arsenal youngster. Solid goalkeeping early on in the cup tie, which, you know, on a pitch like this, on a night like this, it's cold, it's a bit windy. It's fouled anyway. You want your goalkeeper to be bold and commanding. Cancelo. Fernandinho wants it. Nominally the last year of his contract, but they extended it by a year, and they'd like to extend it again. They want him involved.
Well, there was some interesting quotes this week from Guardiola about coaching. You know, saying there's no point in him being a coach here because it'd be a little bit boring for him.
Mahrez. He's fit as a fiddle still, Fernandinho.
Yeah, he hasn't played an awful lot this season, has he? He's been managed very, very well, but his experience is vital.
Solo up from the back. It's cut out for the home side by George Grant. On the left-hand side of midfield today. He's a right-footed player, can play either side. Didn't make it at Reading, went to the Nike Academy, and on to Nottingham Forest on a meandering route to Peterborough in the summer. Against Bristol Rovers early on in the competition. Here's Mahrez, a little touch on. And Edwards took a chance by turning out, letting the ball roll, but he got a well-timed challenge there. This is the one they're all looking at, Ronnie Edwards, youngster at the back. Danny?
Big test for him tonight, though. He will not have come up against opposition individually of the quality like this, or the way that the team play, the movement. He's going to have to be incredibly focused for 90 plus minutes.
In round 5 for the first time since '86, and Brighton beat them in a replay. Peterborough beat Bristol Rovers 2-1 and QPR 2-0 to get here. Gundogan with the corner kick to the far post. Diaz was up. He's pulled away by Ronnie Edwards. Manchester City won at Swindon 4-1 and then beat Fulham at home 4-1. Ake to bring it forward. Line of 5 defended by a line of 4. It's Fernandinho. Then it goes wide to Mahrez, stepping inside, he can shoot from there. Knocked inside the penalty area by Frankie Kent. They can't get out, Peterborough, and it's going to cost them sooner or later. It's Fernandinho. Cancelo. Watch the crossing. It's a piece of defending by Sami Šmodics. Mahrez takes it. Foden, such a wonderfully gifted young player. Zinchenko. It's given away. Joe Ward can move forward here for Peterborough. Teaming up with Mickey J. Jones. And they've overplayed that. It's whipped off the toes of Kwame Poku. And a route to league football through Cray Wanderers, local side, the Croydon boy, and then Worthing. Ghanaian international actually, Kwame Poku, though born in South London. Gundogan. Cancelo to Mahrez. Took a lot of the ball early on, but not any quality from out there. Here's Zinchenko, Grealish. It's Gundogan who's trying to run well. Steered away in the middle of the defence where Josh Knight, Ronnie Edwards and Frankie Kent are going to have a difficult night.
I think this is going to be the pattern of the game, and really it already feels how long can Peterborough hold out. Yeah, they had one little counter-attack, but apart from that it's been all Manchester City so far, dominating possession and territory.
George Grant, it was who got it away. Gone deep towards the far post. That's a fine header out by Ronnie Edwards. Manchester City have started the game. I remind George Grant of when he played against Swansea in 2018. He was at Notts, I think it was. They were beaten by 8-1 in a fourth round replay. But you never know. This is the cup. Diaspora of Peterborough fans around the world watching on. They have their dreams. He has to go across there, and he got there late, and he's fouled Ricky J. Jones. It's always going to get there late. Yellow card.
Twice Ake has been caught out already. Jones now needs to play on this. They need to look at this and think, right, okay, maybe Ake is the weakness. Hasn't played an awful lot of football. As I said at the very, very beginning, he's maybe the only player in there that's not a regular first-team player, as I would look at it. I mean, that's really late. It's a really poor decision to make that challenge that high up the pitch.
Started a huge amount of games. This is his 26th appearance of the season. Shouldn't be rusty. Zinchenko quickly closed. He was there then. This is Poku. And Ricky J. Jones. The back quite neatly into the penalty area. Cancelo left it, and Mahrez has to clear. Good pressurised there, Mahrez, by Hayden Coulson up from left wing back. Now Grealish. Manchester City have 83% of possession so far.
Is that all?
Doesn't mean anything though, does it, if you don't turn it into goals? Came off Grealish last, I fancy. Oh, well, I don't know if he's given it the other way.
No, he has, you're right.
He changed his mind. Andy Madley.
Yeah, there's only one stat that matters, and that's that one often in the top left-hand corner of the viewers' screens. The score. As Martin O'Neill used to say, it's irrelevant what happens between the two boxes. Football is won in your penalty box and their penalty box. The rest of it doesn't really matter. Might be a bit basic that, but you know, it's got a point.
What did Cloughie say about who's your best friend on the football pitch? The football. Make sure all your best friends kept securely.
Love him and look after him.
Cancelo. It's not as if they're going to be able to get the ball out to Mahrez. They're stopping any supply out to the wide positions, Peterborough. They're doing okay.
Must be incredibly hard for Grant McCann. How do you even approach lining up against Manchester City, knowing full well that player for player they are streaks ahead, you know, in terms of fitness, in terms of ability? Must be really difficult sort of team talk, and you know, the few days leading up to it, how are we going to stop this team where some of the best in Europe, some of the best in the Premier League haven't been able to do it? It'd be a really intriguing challenge for him.
Especially when only Reading have conceded more goals in the Championship than Peterborough. They've led in 66 this season, 23 defeats in their 36 games. The flag's gone up.
It's got to be offside.
No need for the assistants to wait to raise the flag.
Although he waited long enough, it's one of my pet hates at the moment. When it's a blatant offside and the assistant referee still waits 5-10 seconds before putting the flag up. I get it, if it's really, really tight and you're not sure, fine. But the blatant ones like that, just put the flag up immediately.
Cancelo, same ball. Riyad Mahrez, take on Colson. Cross into the middle. Right. Frankie Kent. Here's Nathan Ake. Foden. He was looking for the ball to Grealish. It only seemed like yesterday when people were saying Phil Foden wasn't getting enough first team games. He's raced on to 152 now.
I was one of those, in all fairness. You know, he's such an incredible talent. I thought he maybe needed to go out on loan and play a little bit more. Was held back. Obviously at 21, he's now got a decent amount of games and is now a first team. Not just regular, he's one of the best on the team, first on the team sheet.
81% possession after 21 minutes for the Premier League leaders. Played by Kent, Fernandinho, lovely little touchdown. Foden anticipated the crunch was going to come, and it did.
And that's the difference between, you know, back when I played and maybe even 10 years ago. Fixtures like this, you could make very, very physical, you know, and you could disrupt and upset the opposition by giving away plenty of fouls, not picking up yellow cards, getting right up against them in their faces, playing, you know, very, very direct. You can't do that with the modern game.
Mahrez, Fernandinho and Zinchenko. Grealish, error of judgment by Joe Ward. Grealish pulls it back. Gundogan on the turn, couldn't get any power in the shot away by Edwards. Ronnie Edwards got it out.
It's all a little panicky, isn't it, when it comes into that Peterborough area.
Last week I was talking with members of the Bristol City team that won the forgotten round 5. Great shock at Leeds United on Reevy's Leeds United in the 70s when Reevy and Bill Shankly was there that day. He said that Bristol City played them off the pitch and it wasn't a bruising battle, but it is a forgotten FA Cup shot. Look it up and you'll find out why. It was played in a midweek afternoon because there were no floodlights due to the 3-day week and the miners' strike, the electricity situation. And it is a great story to read that.
Just before my time, JP, that. I'm sure you were commentating, were you?
I'll tell you what, I was in the dressing room afterwards, though. It was incredible scenes. Sat between Ernie Hunt and Jerry Gow. I'm a little bit biased in that sense to say it's a great story, you understand.
Oh, of course. Peterborough doing well at the moment. You know, almost a bank of 5 and a bank of 4, trying to deny all the space inside the penalty area. But you feel if they keep sitting back like this, one of these chances, one of those little balls that goes into the box is going to fall to a Manchester City player in the right place. You can't keep being lucky in those situations.
The goals in the cup already for Gundogan this season. 4 in his 16 FA Cup ties, a winner in 2019. Lopsided final against Watford. Made by Edwards. Here is Gundogan. People talk about the jewels in Manchester City's crown. He still seems to be underrated somewhat. Gundogan is a wonderful player. Here's Foden. Left foot ping pass to Grealish, came off Joe Ward. Zinchenko. Manchester City from Shakhtar Donetsk in Ukraine didn't play a first-team game for them. Fernandinho won lots for them. Oh, Mahrez in behind here now. Go cross in the middle and well anticipated in there by Frankie Kent.
Just look how crowded that penalty area is. You've probably got 16, 17 players at least in there. And that's why there's no space at the moment for Manchester City.
Should deal with this and get it out, and they do in the end. Chandra Fuchs here to Coulson. We'll send him out on loan again. He did have a very good season a couple of years ago. Long run in the first team, but he's been out at St Mirren and Cambridge and Ipswich on loan.
This is really good play though. Sorry JP, it's really good play. He gets them up the pitch, he takes the ball, he's prepared to run with it, and he draws the foul. Not only does that shift them up the pitch, it also gives them an opportunity to just have a little bit of a breather and a little bit of a reset and get into the City half.
In terms of FA Cup experience, Manchester City have it all and Peterborough have very little of it. But Grealish has gone on the wrong side there to make a challenge on Poku. Mixed messages there with Ricky J. Jones. Mahrez. Too sure Grant McCann will appreciate the easy way that Mahrez, who's not a born tackler, was allowed to win that ball back. Here's Grealish. And went early. Easier balls on there earlier from Grealish to Gundogan. He didn't use it. It's Chandra Fuchs. Hyundai in the Cameroon.
This is better for Peterborough. Just getting a little bit of a feel of the ball, getting a few touches.
Poku. George Grant. Jesus, and he wanted it more in there, really. Jones. Outside of Ruben Diaz. Got to be done.
Right idea from Jones, but really good defending from Ruben Diaz. Absolutely superb. Read it and just went, no. Having none of that. You're not going down the outside, not going down the inside. Get my body in the way. Really good defending.
Zinchenko. Remember that Manchester City win here in 81 when Tommy Booth got the goal, because Billy Kellock, I think his name was, missed a handful of chances for Peterborough that day. They had a man of the match performance by a player called Trevor Slack. Played out of his skin that.
Sorry JP, I was four.
It's Gundogan.
You could have only been about 7 or 8 though.
3 actually, looking at you, I can understand. No, it was a terrific run by Manchester City all the way to that final that year. He used to the near post, Fernandinho's there with him. It's a little touch on, and the second. They haven't cleared their lines very well. Cancelo went to bring it down. It's a throw to Peterborough. Great to see and hear the Western Home Stadium rocking. Been through some tough times, up and down, up and down. 1960 they came into the league and they yo-yoed around really. But in the early 60s, they reached the quarter-final of this. They reached the semi-final of the League Cup. West Brom put them out. Produced decent players over the years, or players who've been improved by Peterborough. Ivan Toney, of course, recently went off to Brentford. Diaz. Here's Fernandinho. We'll start things off from the back. 9 trophies he won in his days in the Ukraine with Shakhtar. There's it again, Gundogan. Zinchenko, Grealish has it. Gundogan whips it to the far post.
For all their possession, haven't really created too many clear-cut opportunities as yet. Yet again, that Peterborough penalty area incredibly congested. So many players, and You know, half an hour into the game, I think Grant McCann will be quite pleased with this. Yes, the idea was to sit back, but the goalkeeper hasn't really had to make a save as such as yet.
It's to be settled tonight, of course. Time and then penalties.
I wish
attempts by Manchester. Sorry, Danny. 2 attempts for Peterborough, but look, they've had the one on target. That's the effort from Fuchs that was deflected instead.
I wish they'd get rid of extra time. You know, there's never great extra time. Some players just get tired.
And here's Grealish. Purposeful, dangerous, wasteful. And still yet to have a shot to test Steven Bender.
Too hesitant, I think, from Jack Grealish. Really good run, gets himself into a really good area. He's onside, no doubt about that. Inside there, because he has too many touches under his feet. When he comes inside now, there, that needs to be bigger touch outside of the defender and then hit the shot. He has 2 or 3 more touches, and that allows people to get back and defend it. It's almost like he's lacking a little bit of confidence, just trying to be too precise.
Peterborough trying to summon up the spirit of Wigan. He beat Manchester City in the final of 2013 and in the quarter-final of 2014 and in the 5th round of 2018, I seem to remember. Showing the world it can be done. It's rarely done. The bookie said it wouldn't be done tonight. I don't know who played its goalless. Here's Ake, Sinchenko. Fernandinho. Went with that by Josh Knight. Schmodix completes the clearance. And is there again. To Jones, easily dealt with by Diaz. Here's Gundogan, a little bit of space to find Grealish. On it goes, but it's cut out by the slithering Hayden Coulson, the Gateshead boy. Lots of noise from the Peterborough fans behind that goal. Even Diaz would be a danger here. Fernandinho arrived, that's sound goalkeeping, it's cleared away. And a hefty old tumble there by Steven Bender. Came down from a big height.
I think this is dangerous. I'm a little bit surprised the referee hasn't got a yellow card out here. Referees seem very, very calm in this situation. We know how protected goalkeepers are. I think this is late. Look at that, he's right underneath the goalkeeper. He's got no intention of playing the ball at this stage. Look, he jumped straight into the goalkeeper.
Naughty.
Knows exactly what he's doing. Look, okay, you say he's looking at the ball. Look, there's no way he's going to get the ball at that point. He doesn't even jump for the ball. And that could be really nasty, the way the goalkeeper lands. Referee's missed that one.
Well, took the wind out of the sails of the big 6'4" German keeper.
I'm not saying it's a red card, but I think at least it has to have a word with him. Get the yellow card out for that. Anywhere else on the pitch against an attacking player, that's a yellow card.
Brought in by Aaron Ferguson, his predecessor, on loan in January. From Swansea, had a loan spell at Swindon as well. Out for the young uns and the old uns to remember, especially if they can create the shock of the season so far. Really haven't had too many glorious FA Cup memories in recent. He's reached the 4th round in 17-18. Leicester put them out 5-1. It's what, some 26 years now, 36 years I should say, since they reached the 5th round. On the attack here now though, and Ederson had to react quickly. Fernandinho rises wide to the right-hand side. I don't think that's a foul. I think it's just a coming together, and Coulson held his running line. I've been quite happy for Mahrez to have the ball, but nothing's come of it. Was that a foul throw? The Madley boys. It's a rare thing these days, a foul throw. Suspicion that might have been another one there, you know, but they don't give them these days, do they? It's Fernandinho. Cancelo. Slipped there by Schmodix. Fernandinho higher towards Jesus. Cancelo, strong challenge, well played by Frankie Kent. Fernandinho, Boost and the Peterborough fans who recognise what Danny was talking about, that he went into the goalkeeper too heavily moments ago. Zinchenko comes in here narrow. Right on the left-hand side, Foden. Mahrez. Okay. Zinchenko now has Grealish out on the left-hand touchline. I wonder if they're moving the ball quickly enough when they get advantageous positions wide, Danny.
I think Peterborough working so hard, so many people behind the ball. Manchester City just can't find that little bit of space at the moment. Listen, look at that. Fantastic closing down, absolutely brilliant.
Super performance defensively by Peterborough in 36 minutes.
Fuchs sums it up there. Closing down Fernandinho, putting him under pressure, forcing the ball wide and getting back into his slot. And then the cross comes in. Manchester City getting a little bit frustrated at the moment. There he is, look, the master. Need to play little 1-2s, pass and move, move the ball quicker.
Manchester City are being frustrated by a team that lie bottom of the Championship, with big games up and coming. Huddersfield third in the table, their next game away from home, and then Bournemouth, who were second. Midfield duels won by Poku and Jones for Peterborough when he drops deep. Yes. It's Nathan Ake. Zinchenko. Flicked it off one of those men we've just mentioned there, Kwame Poku. Played for Ghana this season, made his debut last in the March against Sao Tome. 7 to go in the half. Ake there, Fernandinho. Three centre-backs for Peterborough together for Gundogan's corner kick. Unopposed, the goalkeeper. Going for him up front.
It's 3-on-3 if he can get this under control.
Poku. Schmodix. Coulson. Manchester City, lots of white shirts back there defending. Coulson. Joe Ward has switched to the left-hand side and stayed very, very high. It's a dangerous ball to the far post, and suddenly they came out and played there. Peterborough, Josh Kenter got forward from centre-back. Now will this leave them short of the back of Manchester City counter? Gundogan, brilliantly done, beyond Edwards. And they maintain the pace, but the ball out wide to Mahrez.
from Foden. Gives him another chance to get it in from the right-hand side. Lifts the cross towards Jesus. Here's Grealish. Look at the dark blue shirts back in there. Zinchenko easily blocked. Well, not afraid to pull all 10 outfield players behind the ball. Gundogan, John Poku, Jesus, Mahrez, again the momentum slows. Peterborough defensively are set, shouldn't concede from this position now. But they nearly did, because Gundogan was given a header.
Just got 4 minutes left, 5 minutes left to hold out until half-time. Riyad Mahrez will be absolutely delighted with his side so far. Yes, conceded a lot of possession, but limited Manchester City to some long shots, the odd header like that. Still not really tested the goalkeeper.
8 corners they've had. They've not had a shot on target yet. Ward's back to his right side now. It's a throw to Manchester City. Stepped up from non-league football down at Chelmsford, Joe Ward, to go to Brighton, didn't make it there. And back into non-league football down at Woking. Before Peterborough picked him up in January of 18. His defence under pressure again here from the left. It's Cancelo. That's another corner kick to Manchester City.
Manchester City aren't really renowned, are they, for scoring goals from set pieces, from corners especially. Direct free kicks maybe.
It's taken short. Zinchenko. Mahrez at the far sticks,
Headed away for another corner kick. Well, Manchester City goals come from intricate tiki-taka movement on the edge of the penalty area, and Peterborough blocked off that route. Gundogan's cross into the middle. Jesus leaning away from goal, I think it was. Yes, it was. Headed it over.
Definite frustration creeping in. Manchester City, somehow they've got to draw Peterborough out a little bit, get them to be a little bit higher up the pitch. That final third is so congested.
Grealish has won that. Peterborough will settle for that. Shade back a little bit of possession their way, Peterborough. Manchester City have now at merely 78%. Scored 40 goals in the last 11 meetings against lower league sides, winning all 11 and conceding 8. This is a team expected to win tonight and win handsomely. They've gone beyond this stage of the Cup 6 times in the last 9 seasons, but it is a hard night for Manchester City developing. By Fernandinho, Jesus, but that's headed it straight to a Peterborough shirt. Could have done with an easy night tonight, Manchester City, with the local derby against United at the weekend, and then the return game against Sporting in the Champions League. 5-0 up from the first leg. Ake will have to get there, and he just does, under pressure from Jones. It's a flag for offside and a hefty fall for Nathan Ake. Telling the medical staff not to come on. He's just winded, I think, from the fall.
Been a little bit uncomfortable, isn't it, for Nathan Ake so far this evening? Misjudged a few things.
That's a foul. Given for offside, but I thought that was a foul. Watch that, Danny. What do you think?
Again, player jumps early. Jones has got no intention of going for the ball, and he just makes it back, knowing that Ake is going to roll over the top of it. And it's not It's not the contact that's the problem, it's when you come down from that height and you've twisted, you've been knocked in the air, you land very, very awkwardly.
Again, Posh have everyone behind the ball. Diaz. And Selo to Foden, coming away from the penalty area. He spent most of his first half doing that. Decent ball in there to Jesus. Now they've moved it quicker. Foden skips beyond 1 and 2. Comes to Fernandinho. He's trying to push it through to Zinchenko then on the run, but Fernandinho has it. And one back by Chando Fuchs. Jones. Straight to Diaz. Into the minute of stoppage time. But untidy again for Manchester City. Cancelo for them. Early ball into Jesus. Flag has stayed down. Picked up by the goalkeeper, and Peterborough looked to a flag that didn't come. So that's a big chance.
The really big chance on the stroke of half-time. Little ball just dinked over the top, clearly onside. Good touch, and it won't quite drop for him. He just snatches at it, unlike Gabriel Jesus.
Sensational first half for Peterborough. Bottom of the championship. They've held Manchester City top of the Premier League, goalless at half-time, Dan.
Incredibly surprised, in all honesty, the amount of possession that Manchester City have. Not the fact they haven't scored, but the lack of real chances that they've created. Peterborough fans will be absolutely delighted. Grant McCann will be absolutely delighted. If you'd have said Manchester City can have 75% possession in the first half, not tested the goalkeeper, I'd be very, very surprised.
It's a shock scoreline at half-time. Peterborough 0, Manchester City 0. Well, welcome back to Peterborough, and it's 0-0 at this moment in time. Bit of frustration for those Manchester City fans at the Western Homes Stadium, because though their team has dominated the ball and has had plenty of shots, they haven't hit the target yet. And we're hearing that Pep Guardiola is going to make 2 changes. And Oasis are here, and it's been a bit of an oasis in terms of Manchester City suffering a first half drought of goals.
Half of Oasis.
Half of Oasis is here, yeah.
High-flying birds now.
That's true, I've seen them live, very, very good.
A bit like Manchester City shots, high-flying into the stadium.
Look at the changes, though, they've made. Laporte is on, John Stones is on, so maybe a surprise in that the manager hasn't changed the attacking lineup. Made the 2 changes. Off we go in the second half. Peterborough then in the blue with the white sleeves and white shorts. Manchester City in the change, the white with the aquamarine. And the thoughts of Danny Mills on those 2 substitutions.
Strange is the answer to that. Both centre-halves being changed. Not really sure that's a attack. Ake I don't think was brilliant. But to change both centre-halves, it's very unusual. Not quite sure why he would do that.
Maybe they picked up knocks in the first half. We'll try and find out for you. Here's a foul though. Challenge that left Grealish flying. And Chando Fuchs. Porter's in there. Hasn't scored in the FA Cup. 3 goals this season, mind you, in other competitions. Easily collected by Stephen Bender with, again, no challenge on the goalkeeper, and their belief will grow in this second half. Mind you, what would Grant McCann say to them? Yes, your belief will grow, but let's not get silly.
I think Grant McCann will be saying, look, just try and hang in there. You know that City are going to come again, they're going to keep the ball in lots of possession. Hang in there and wait for that one chance.
Now Schmodic's on the right-hand side, crossing the middle looking for Jones. And it's cleared away by Cancelo. Smodic's there where we expected him to start the game, but he's been deeper on the left-hand side. Now that's a painful collision. Foden has stayed down, and I think it's Frankie Kent who stayed down there with him.
Knee on knee. Referee should stop that a little bit quicker. Both players going to. There's no advantage to anybody. It's clearly a sore one. Get the trainer on straight away. Knee on knee is always very, very painful and can be dangerous, because look at the position of his knee. Look at the way he lands. Could easily have twisted that and done some serious damage.
Caught in the face as well by Foden's boot as it flew up inadvertently.
Have a look at his knee twist over. There, it's not pleasant.
Okay, Frankie Kent. Making it Arsenal, went out to Colchester. A lot of these Peterborough players are fine examples of if you don't first succeed in football.
If you are thinking of a career in the game, it is extremely difficult to get through the football route and through to first team football and then play a number of games, but your first club lets you go, keep going. Information about Manchester City side, a strong side, the 2 substitutes on, but look at the star names in there. And yet it's Peterborough here who will have the throw in a dangerous situation, and Joe Ward will take it longish into the box. It is a long one. It's set up for a good opportunity and he didn't quite catch it properly, and it just tickles wide Sami Šmodiks.
What a glorious opportunity. A little bit of old school, launching the ball into the box. I think it's Laporte that gets the header. Mahrez loses Šmodiks, who's free. He just get a little bit excited. It bounces just in front of him, to be fair, but if he gets a clean contact on that, Peterborough take the lead. The manager absolutely distraught.
Is a huge shot beginning to be on the cards. This is a strong run by Edwards and a brilliant challenge by Foden saved Manchester City. He was caught, so it's a free kick, but it was the first challenge there that was absolutely vital.
Peter have come out really strong in this second half. Grant McCann's obviously got them fired up. And this is another great opportunity. It just goes to show it's Phil Foden coming back, having to make the challenge. Not sure where the free kick here is on Foden.
He gets in there to block from George Grant.
Yeah, there's no free kick there.
It's a strange one. Cancella. Here's England's John Stones. Scored against Fulham earlier on in the competition, a winner in 2019. Fernandinho's won just about everything you can do as a player. Cancella with the check back. Again goes to his right foot to cross. Too high for Jesus, who couldn't get over it. And Phil Foden in the middle there, screaming at Cancella. You went to get the cross in early, then you check back and the opportunity's gone. Get it in earlier.
I think sometimes Manchester City can be criticised for overplaying. And a side at the bottom of the Championship will be used to crosses coming into the box like that. And you can see there's 5 or 6 players across the line of the 6-yard box. Manchester City just got to move the ball a little bit quicker at times.
Fernandinho's header. Underneath it is Hayden Coulson. It's a real mistake from him in the game. Opponent today in Mahrez, and he's been tenacious and he's been competitive and he's frustrated Riyad Mahrez. Had a super game, the left wing back. Up against a player who cost Manchester City £60 million. Of the Manchester City side over £1 billion. Evaluation of the Peterborough side under 12 million. Fernandinho. Foden, he got there first. Hayden Coulson. And a good ball. Cancelo blocks his Fernandinho. Grant was there. He's forward by Aymeric Laporte. Peterborough offside there, Peterborough. Flag stayed down on Gundogan. He gets it back again and can turn and get it across. Looks for Grealish. Cut out by Chando Fuchs. He's travelled Cameroon international, played in Germany and France, Spain, Israel. Scotland with Dundee United, and his defence at the moment is frustrating Manchester City and forcing them into that sort of a pass, and he will not be best pleased.
Slow, sloppy from Manchester City at the moment. Pep's made 2 changes, a little bit surprised. He's maybe not looking to change the forward line at the moment. Lack of creativity has been very surprising for Manchester City.
They make 5 changes in the cup. Let's run away from Peterborough, and here's Mahrez. Can he provide a moment of quality? Can't. He's a good challenge back on him by Fuchs, and it's a goal kick. He's covered so much ground in that midfield area.
Great energy. That was his. He had the best chance of the game so far, hasn't he? Look at that determination. Doesn't dive in, just does enough to put Riyad Mahrez off. Stops him getting a shot away.
Signed in the January window from Dundee United for just under £1 million. Big money for a club like Peterborough to spend. Anthony bought the club for £1. Been chairman since 2006 and has backed his managers. Aaron Ferguson moving on, of course, recently. His several spells in charge. Wish him well in trying to get back into the game. Stones. Now Laporte. Here's Stones. Benanginho. Cancelo. There's Gundogan. All of these Manchester City players were in that victorious team of 2019. Cancelo, for example, didn't play, of course, and he was a semi-finalist last year. They want this domestic trophy. Pep Guardiola wants to win them all. Lost their grip of the League Cup earlier on this campaign. Nordics, backheel, Peterborough fans love that. Fernandinho blunders in from behind and caught Hayden Coulson. Fine game, the left wing back. So many good, solid Peterborough performances.
Peterborough will now be at the stage when you're the underdogs, you have markers throughout the game. You know, 15 minutes, can we keep a clean sheet? 30 minutes. Can we get to half-time? Wow, we've got to half-time 0-0. OK, can we get to 60 minutes 0-0? See what happens.
And they're going to run better here now. Poku. Nicely saved. It's only the second shot on target in the match, and they've had both of them.
They've just got to make sure they stay in the game.
It's beginning to open up. Here's Foden. Mahrez, they're flooding Peterborough players back now. Fernandinho with a little touch on Zinchenko. For Jesus, good header down, and the pressure it was as well from Frankie Kent.
You're right, JP, it has opened up a little bit, and that's almost what Peterborough don't want. They don't need the game to be open. Stick to what you're doing. It's almost like you don't want them to get too much belief, don't want them to become too confident. Sit in, keep doing what you're doing, and they've already shown that they will get the odd half chance.
Don't get silly. That's what the manager might be saying to them. Zinchenko slip.
Exactly, don't get carried away. Don't let those little bursts of adrenaline, oh, we're on the attack, let's all rush up the field. Stick to what you're doing, it's working up till now. You will get a set piece. You will get a breakaway at some point. It's just whether you can put it in the back of the net. But if you start to try and outplay Manchester City, then you are going to get picked off.
Win against Queen's Park Rangers in the last round, their only victory in the last 11 games. In all competitions this season, they've conceded 71. Mark McCann and Cliff Byrne there, who was with him at Hull City, by the way, the man on the right-hand side, set out a defence that has held the mighty Manchester City for nearly an hour. Jesus. And Stones on the angle to Cancelo. Mahrez has dropped behind him.
and he could have cut a crossing, could have whipped the crossing. Mahrez, left foot in, and away and out of play. Just Cancelo kind of wrapped his foot around the ball and whipped that in. Beckham used to do that magnificently for Manchester United, of course.
It's almost just a little bit too casual at the moment for Manchester City. But he's almost leaning back and I'll just feed it in. They just need to up their game a little bit by 10-15% City. And Jesus getting a little bit manhandled.
The history of this great competition has been littered with teams that have got to this stage, round 6 and even through to the final. Thought they were dominant, Manchester City dominant in terms of attempts but not on target. And all of a sudden the underdog has got a goal and the tie is gone. And instead of illuminating the histories of the FA Cup, you suddenly become an unwanted name because you've been on the end of a giant killing.
And this is the round, isn't it, where there are so many potential giant killings and upsets. The last round didn't really see too many at all, or didn't expect too many, should we say. This time around you look and think, well, there could be plenty, and another long throw here is going to cause Manchester City problems.
It will be Joe Ward again who will hurl this into the box. Jones and Fuchs are in there. Fuchs with the first touch. I'm not too sure who that came off, but anyway, Ederson has it now. And Foden quickly on to Mahrez. It won't be long before Pep Guardiola calls for Bernardo Silva, calls for Kevin De Bruyne, calls for Raheem Sterling. Laporte. Slow, very slow. Foden, that's better. Zinchenko, got to bring it down. And he went one way then the other and went back to that favoured left foot to get the cross in. Fuchs let go out. Did. It's a Peterborough throw.
You can see there Peterborough players starting to get a little bit tired. Energy starts to go, then concentration starts to go. They've just got to grind it out for the next 10-15 minutes. They can get to 75 and then you start thinking 80 at 0-0. Who knows?
Well, then poor touch by him, and he got to the ball quicker than Kenton got it out wide here to Mahrez, who scores! And Manchester City have broken the deadlock just short of the hour.
Really didn't see that coming, and not from that phase of play. Plenty of bodies back in. I just said that Peterborough look like they're starting to get a little bit tired. One or two players, maybe the concentration is going. Referee does well there to play the advantage. Mahrez, you know what Riyad Mahrez wants to do. Look, there's 3 players coming towards him. Do not let Riyad Mahrez come back inside onto his left foot. Force him down the touchline. It's a fabulous finish. Rolls it into the far corner. No backlift. Doesn't give the goalkeeper a chance to get set. It's almost like you don't even know that he's going to take this on for goal. Look, no backlift. Goes through the defender's legs into the far corner. But show him down the line. Worst case is he gets a cross in. You know if he comes onto his left foot, he's looking to bend that in the far corner.
Well, it's not over yet, but it's a hard task now for Peterborough. And Gallagher amongst the fans celebrating the goal. And the Manchester City fans can sing about their blue moon. And it'll be shining over Peterborough's Western Home Stadium later on. They held on for nearly an hour. Foden. Fernandinho. They now have the platform. They don't yet have the route through to the last 8. There's Jones. Get a chance to see Harrison Burrows off the bench for Peterborough. He's a left side player, only 20, and again very highly rated. Marriott is on the bench, a striker. He's an option there. Scored a couple against Villa, I seem to remember, in the cup. Jack Marriott in a shot. Here's Jones, away by Stones. And here's Grealish, and they've got a man over. Mahrez on the right-hand side, surely is the ball to play. Mahrez! Going to put the toe to bed there.
Great opportunity. I don't know whether he's trying to call for a penalty, and this is what Manchester City do. Devastating on the counter-attack with pace and quality. Grealish rolls him in, he's onside. He's just looking to dink the goalkeeper. Challenge comes in. It's a little bit late. You could argue that possibly could, by the letter of the law, be given as a penalty, but I think the chance had already gone. I wouldn't have given it.
He wanted it. There's Grealish. Again, he's flirted around the periphery of the game. Jack Grealish, that's a terrible ball out. Who's back to cover and rescue for Manchester City, the evergreen Fernandinho. A terrible ball out by Laporte, I think it was, in the first place. If you've just joined us, Manchester City made 2 changes at half-time. Laporte and Stones for the centre-backs Diaz and Ake. Curious one at the time, we haven't heard yet the reasons behind that. Jesus. Okay, certainly picked up a bit of a knock at the end of that first half, didn't he? That might have been the reason. Here's Foden, meanwhile. Slice across the border, spin it away to Mahrez. Cleverly done, he's blocked off. Simply good defending that. There's nothing wrong with the defending of Hayden Coulson. You're a fullback, tell me.
No, you don't have to get out of the way. Simple as that. You know, you don't have to move out of Riyad Mahrez's way. If you stand there, you've got to move the ball and go around the defender. He just stands in the line. He's down the line of the ball. Simple as that. But he doesn't move his... maybe a touch. But even still, I think you've got to expect that.
Danny Mills, latterly of Manchester City, and a World Cup fullback as well with England. There's a City player blocked off there. Here's Poku. The shot was allowed to go on, but they pulled it back. I think it was a free kick, and I do think that Joe Ward blocked his man off. Interested to see it again, Danny. See what you think. Yeah,
I just saw out the corner of my eye 2 players coming together. Wasn't quite sure what happened. Yeah, I think that's clear, isn't it? That he blocks Emirates Laporte, knocks him off the ball, trips him up. And I think we all know from that point, yeah, the whistle goes well before he puts it into the back of the net.
Spoke to a lot of referees, you know, this season and last. They love doing the FA Cup. I'm talking Premier League referees. They love the adventure of being in the FA Cup, and of course they're free of VAR on many occasions, and they seem to relish it.
Well, I disagree at times. I think sometimes the Premier League referees, when they drop down without VAR, they often use VAR as a little bit of a backup. And sometimes they don't always make a decision.
That's a good ball in here to Jesus. Blocked by the legs of Stephen Bender. Another chance for Manchester City, but now they're having efforts on time.
Back with a score from Phil Foden. Little Maradona spin.
Mahrez looks for him.
Showing my age there, aren't I, calling it a Maradona spin? It's probably called something else in this day and age.
Probably is. It was a Cruyff turn before a Maradona spin. I mean, slightly different.
This is how good these players were. They had a skill and a turn named after them. Johan Cruyff, Maradona. There aren't too many players.
That's a lovely ball up towards Grealish. Took it neatly and finishes neatly. but the quality of the ball was outrageous, outrageous. And Manchester City at 2-0 up should now be coasting through to the last 8.
Excellent first touch from Jack Grealish. Calm, side-footed finish, but the ball over the top was exquisite. Pinpoint accuracy, matched by the run of Grealish. Great first touch. Look at this, look, head up, time and space from Foden.
Brilliant.
Little driven 7-iron over the top, landing softly onto Grealish, right foot, takes it away from the defender, and a great finish with his left foot. Fabulous goal.
His first FA Cup goal, I believe. His first for Manchester City since December. And that's what they paid the big money for, but they paid nothing for Phil Foden, not a penny. And the quality of the ball was absolutely magnificent.
We talked about it a few minutes ago, didn't we? When we said actually the last thing that Peterborough want is the game to open up and get a little bit stretched, and that's what's happened in the last 5 or 10 minutes since that first goal went in, and that plays into Manchester City's hands.
It's going to be a triple substitution coming up any moment now for Peterborough. They've got Marriott ready, I can see, to come on. Brown, I think, is going to be coming on as well. Who's the other one down there? Johnson Clark Harris, I can see, is going to come on for Peterborough. Central midfield player, left-footed player, and play higher up the pitch as well. That's a lovely piece of play. Crowd loved it as well from young Josh Knight.
That's going on the show reel.
Oh, there's some trouble here in the middle. What's happening here? Ederson has got involved with Schmodix. Wrapped around Fernandinho, who was holding on as well.
Yeah, Fernandinho wouldn't let go of his arm, I think. There was a coming together, it was a little bit, there was nothing in it at all. Schmodix had his arm around him, but then Fernandinho wouldn't let go of his arm, and I think that's what caused the problem. If he's going to book one, he's got to book both.
Yeah.
I mean, Fernandinho's lucky, because should have been booked in the first half for the foul on the goalkeeper.
Well, I think Schmodix is about to be substituted anyway. "20 minutes to go."
Fernandinho can laugh and plead his innocence, but he was just as guilty and all that.
His challenge on the goalkeeper in the first half was rough. His third yellow of the season. There's Jones. And on comes Johnson Clark Harris to replace him. He'll probably go like for like up front. He's got good goal scoring record, 38 and 78 for Peterborough. 5 goals this season, 3 of them from the spot. Off goes Schmodix. And on comes Reece Brown, who's a central midfield player. Furthest he's ever gone in the competition. Former Notts County, Chesterfield, Forest Green, Huddersfield. Been around a bit. Sedgley White Lions, if you're watching, he was with you for a while. On comes Marriott. Oh, throw hurled into the box. Let in there by Emirates Laporte. The pressure from Josh Knight. Grealish, it's a little bit risky in a way by Zinchenko.
Haven't really seen Ronnie Edwards have to do too much, have we?
On the attack here, the first effort since coming off the bench for Jack Marriott stings the fingers of Ederson.
What a hit that is. Brilliant first touch out of his feet. Fires it in. Great power towards the near post, and Ederson equal to it. And I think he's just left a little bit on the port there as well. I mean, he's really up for the challenge, isn't he?
He's a tenacious centre forward who's been around since the year dot, it would seem. Started off at Ipswich all those years ago, 13 years ago, and he stung the fingers of the goalkeeper. He's got a good scoring record in the Cup, 9 goals in the past, and got a couple in that victory against Villa in round 3 for the Posh a few years back. It's Fernandinho. It's a lovely ball to Mahrez. Wasteful again.
And that's why you show him onto his right foot, down the outside. So much stronger on his left-hand side. I think he's onside there. There you go. Show him down the line, show him down the outside. Far less chance of him scoring.
Grealish, 1 goal, 5 key passes. He has played a key role, even though he hasn't been at his best. He's on the ball now. Here's Zinchenko. Fernandinho. And they're knocking the ball around now with more confidence, Manchester City. Tie for them. Pep Guardiola was saying beforehand, yes, Peterborough bottom of the championship, but new manager, new resolve. Would be a tough night for them. He warned his players. I believe both of those substitutions at half-time, the 2 centre-backs were for tactical reasons. Both sitting down there in the dugout. Grealish. 2 men on him. Peterborough now beginning to tire. Oh, just a little bit sluggish to move his feet. Zinchenko. Foden. He's been the real difference for me. Phil Foden, quality of passing, standing in play.
He's a magnificent footballer. Incredible balance, vision, technical ability, but he also works incredibly hard. Him and Bernardo Silva, 2 players that are just outstanding to watch.
Very hard for Peterborough. Not in this game, but to stay in the championship, having come back up into it. They're 8 points off a safe position with what's on 13 games to go. Fernandinho. It's Cancelo. Gundogan stumbled on it. Foden. Mahrez to his right-hand side, waiting, staying on side. Peterborough shirts back inside that penalty area. Fernandinho now goes into the wide position, but Mahrez doesn't use him. Stones. Use him now. Cancelo first. And across the ball, left-footed. He's gone all the way through, and he blasted it in a combination of the goalkeeper and maybe Frankie Kent kept it out.
Just opened up for City, hasn't it, in the second half?
Oh, that's a good effort.
Fine
save.
Yeah, difficult one for the goalkeeper. Bounces just in front of him. Makes a good decision in the end, decides to push it away rather than try and catch it and possibly spill it to the oncoming Gundogan.
That did hit Knight. Or rather Frankie Kent, I should say. Another corner kick for Manchester City. They're 11th, as you can see. Bending away from goal. Decent header out for the Posh at the back. Played really well, those 3 centre-backs. That was Frankie Kent that time. Fuchs gives it away. He's noticeably tiring now. Fernandinho. Mahrez. Gundogan's wide. Finds him as he onside. Steps inside. That's a good little block in there again. It was Ronnie Edwards who got his something on it. Might have been bending in.
Manchester City beginning to create chances freely. Grant. To Joe Ward, who's limping and holding the outside of his right hip.
Worked really hard, Peterborough, giving everything that they've got. Now starting to physically get tired, but also mentally will become very, very drained. But they've given a really good account of themselves. First half performance I thought was excellent from Peterborough. Really denied Manchester City. Just in the second half, Manchester City's quality was just told, and Barry Fry, well, not quite to be this season for him.
No, and Mr. Peterborough will probably see them drop down a division. It's going to be a tall order, but Grant McCann, don't forget, brought Hull up from that division last season, having been relegated the previous year, so he knows all about the division, he knows all about Peterborough. Ward on his feet. Coulson departs. On comes Ballymumba. He's on loan here at this moment in time from Norwich. Scored on his debut against Bristol Rovers, and their other substitution is Harrison Burrows. Now, looking forward to seeing him. Came through, battling away. Stones. Grealish. Energy is gone a little bit from the game. Manchester City are 10 minutes out from a quarter-final place. Ward played really well for Peterborough before going off with that knock to the hip. Mahrez, Fernandinho. Guided into the box by Cancelo, nearly came all the way through. Dug out in the end. Oh, it was back there who got it away. Trundled up to join Johnson Clark-Harris. Has played in that deeper role this season, but is mainly a striker. Clark-Harris has been at Oldham and Rotherham and the like. Much travel. Gundogan, Grealish, just got tagged there by a tiring Chando Fuchs.
Yeah, they've worked incredibly hard, given absolutely everything for the cause. Made this a really good cup tie. Ultimately, they've just been undone by the sheer quality.
9 minutes to go. Sorry, Danny. 9 minutes to go. Zinchenko might come through the group here and have a go for Manchester City. Should be a fitting finale to it, easy for me to say. Will it be Mahrez? It's neither. It's Gundogan. It hits the wall. This is Zinchenko. Rapport switches play, good ball. Cancelo, Foden. In the air a little bit too long, and Ballymunburg could get it away. Sunderland player out to non-league to South Shields from South Shields before Norwich paid a fair amount of money for him 18 months ago. Played many times for their first team. Here's Foden. Gundogan leaves it off to Fernandinho. Might come to him. Johnson Clark-Harris has brought down a free kick here for Peterborough. He's got 65 goals in his last 130 odd games, Clark-Harris, for his last couple of clubs, a striker from Bristol Rovers. Reached around 5 of this a few years back, played against Brighton and lost. It was for Coventry, I seem to remember. Here's Mahrez. But the team of players, journeymen pros, the 2 youngsters coming through, and they can be proud that they held Manchester City, the reigning champions of the land, for an hour. Fernandinho. Stones. Cancelo. Foden's made a good run inside. So again delayed the ball in from the right-hand side. No problem for them, Manchester City tonight, Danny. Just delaying this final ball in.
Sometimes you can be a little bit overconfident.
It's a lovely ball over the top, and the opportunity here for Peterborough just ran away from Jack Grealish.
Solid defending from the port. Patient. Yeah, sometimes when the pitch isn't quite perfect, you can get sucked into having an extra touch at times. You know, not quite believe in the surface, trying to be a little bit too precise. That with a little bit of complacency, thinking, well, we don't have to be 100% to win this game. You think you're playing at 90%, but suddenly you're not. Suddenly it drops to 75, and that's when you give the opposition a chance. And that probably happened in the first half.
Mahrez, Cancelo, Gundogan's in the middle. Didn't get that far. And Edwards at 18. Kenton Knight to either side of him. Very strong, and in it comes. Easy for the goalkeeper, Stephen Bender, to get it away. Frankie Kent will call them out there from the back wearing the orange boots. 5 minutes to play. Manchester City very close now to a 7th quarter-final in the last 10 seasons. And the 5th under Pep Guardiola. Is it just now damage limitation for Peterborough, Danny?
Yeah, of course it is. And actually, if they come out of it having lost the game 2-0, having acquitted themselves very well in the first half and limited Manchester City, I think overall they'll be very, very pleased with that. We said right at the top, you don't want to get an absolute thumping. You know, these are bottom, or towards the bottom of the Championship, don't forget. As you said, nearly 2 divisions apart. You don't want to come out of this game being embarrassed by a 6 or a 7.
Fernandinho. 42 places apart they are in the pyramid. That will please Josh Knight, the way he dropped his shoulder. Well, hands it back to Peterborough and wins the free kick. Been competitive throughout. 27-year-old midfielder. Jesus back defending, and Manchester City will be pleased they've got 86 minutes. Well, they're going to get 90 minutes out of him, aren't they? That's 90 minutes for him since early January. Zinchenko into Gundogan, and I'll be happy they've got a game out of Zinchenko, given the circumstances. It would be good for him too. Cancelo and Mahrez. Laporte. Zinchenko edges it to Grealish, in front of the travelling City fans. Went to bend it deliciously, and a nice save from Stephen Bender right at the end.
That's better from Jack Grealish. Starting to grow in confidence. There you go, half a chance. Get your shot away. That's what he didn't do in the first half. See, he just moves it half a yard, opens up the angle. And the shot isn't perfect. He's looking to hit it into the far corner, but that's better, more positive.
Decent game, Stephen Bender, in that goal for Peterborough. Jesus at the far post, watched by Chando Fuchs. And the Brazilian will give chase and keep it in. Into the last 2 minutes. It's a curiosity of a pass. It just didn't have the legs there, Peterborough, to get up and press.
No, that expelled so much energy in that first half. When you're chasing the ball around, constantly getting back to fill holes, you do get tired very, very quickly. And you'd expect the rotation of Manchester City to be fitter, stronger, and keeping it much easier to keep the ball.
Jesus to Grealish, up he goes again. Zinchenko's wide. Didn't look that way. Foden back to Grealish, little stumble. This has gone out wide with him. Sensibly played. Fernandinho uses the width again. The best of takes by Grealish, and he's settled for the corner kick of Ballymumba. Manchester City have still to see the best from him, but he scored a good goal tonight. A wonderful pass by this young man. Curls it away. And out by Clark Harris. Zinchenko, Cancelo. Ball to the far stick, across the goal it goes, and what a miss! What a miss in there by Aymeric Laporte.
How on earth has he managed to miss that? A wry smile from Pep Guardiola. That's because it's 2-0. If this had been 0-0.
Everything was right. The ball in from Cancelo, the header down by Stones. Goodness me.
I'm not even sure he knows how he's missed that. He gets a decent contact on it. Wow. What a miss.
And we're into the 2 minutes of stoppage time. 21 efforts Manchester City have had. Only 5 on target, 2 goals scored. Grealish. Peterborough fans still beating out a rhythmic to Borough till I die. Peterborough, of course. Clever run in there by Foden. And just seen off by the toe of Frankie Kent. And closing in on the last 8 place again. Has come out for the short corner. Mahrez whips it in. Oh, it wasn't too far away from Phil Foden.
Half chance, really difficult one. Going back away from goal.
Opportunity for Marriott. Couldn't bring the ball under control. Cancelo got something on it. Grealish. 4 men around him. Free kick. They won't have time to take it. They'll have time, though, in the last 8 of this competition to reflect on what's been a difficult night for them. The Pep Guardiola's Manchester City make it through. Mahrez breaking the deadlock in the 60th minute, and 6 minutes later, from a sumptuous Phil Foden pass, Jack Grealish steering them into the quarter-finals again. Manchester City beyond round 5 for the 7th time in 10 seasons. For Peterborough, plenty to build on, Danny Mills, but no great upset.
No, really got to counter themselves in the first half. That will give them a lot of heart and a lot of confidence, and they've got to try and take that into the rest of the season. But Manchester City, in the end, too much quality, and that's what it came down to. Those special moments. Great players come up with great moments and find a way to win, and that's what Manchester City did.
Alexander Zinchenko, handshakes from all around. He has more meaningful things to consider. But Manchester City, his football team, are through to the last 8 of the FA Cup. They have beaten Peterborough by 2 goals to 0.